Diddy party stories, man, that was like some weird memory lane stuff.
You gonna hear about my parties, they're gonna be shutting them down, they're gonna probably be arresting me. I just want a little bit of peace and love.
Probably what was going through her mind is her career flashing before her eyes.
I just kind of hit the wall and was just like, I can't do this anymore.
So what can we expect to see on the show?
Everything.
Thank you.
Sounds good.
Maybe an arrest here or there, the FBI.
Y'all gotta go. It's a wrap for y'all, because this thing turns into something that when y'all get older, y'all don't want to come to. Okay?
Cordially invited to celebrate the birth of P. Diddy.
Sean P. Diddy Puff Pastry Cone.
HR Puffin stuff.
Sean P. Puff. Puppy food.
But it's my brother for real. We used to actually wrestle off of the frosted flakes because
Ashton Kutcher is somehow involved with the Diddy scandal happening right now. The two used to be really good friends, and Ashton has spoken about their friendship and going to Diddy parties fondly. And now we have proof of it. I mean, here's a photo of him at one of Diddy's infamous white parties from 2009. There's also footage of the star on a swing over a pool, just swinging away, seeming to have a good time. We do know though that Ashton has been to more parties than that, especially in the early 2000s when he and Diddy became quick friends. On an episode of Hot Ones, Ashton opened up about his relationship with Diddy. He said that the rapper forbade him from targeting him on Punk'd, as in the early 2000s Ashton played ruthless practical jokes on his celebrity friends and set up cameras to film their reactions. I was like, I don't know what to tell you, everybody's on the table, Ashton recalled telling Diddy. He's like, no, not me, I'm off the table. So that started our conversation. Now Ashton said they became fast friends, adding that they used to hang out and watch football together. The host Sean then asked him if he had any favorite Diddy party stories, and well, Ashton's reaction is now raising some eyebrows. Diddy party stories, man, that was some weird memory lane thing. Now that is just a really weird thing to say. I mean, what was so bad about the memories that he did think of? Did they consist of Diddy or even Ashton himself committing crimes? Looking back at this interview now with everything we know is honestly concerning. Now fans have been flooding the comment section reacting to his comments. As one fan said, he's probably not laughing now. Another said, you can tell the flashbacks are worrisome from the way he sighs, while another chimed in, he was traumatized. It seems like some people can't decide if Ashton was a part of the mistreatment happening at those parties or if he was a victim to all of it. Now, the two of them remained close and started going out to clubs together until around 2003. Diddy wrote about his friend Ashton and explained why their party days were coming to an end in a 2010 Time article. The rapper claims that the end of things was caused by Ashton's committed relationship with actress Demi Moore. One night he was with Demi, possibly for the first time, and a few weeks later he called him to tell him he was in love. Combs wrote, with Jamie Foxx, we were a rat pack, hanging out, going to clubs, but their clubbing ended there, the rapper clarified. But after being together for 8 years, Ashton and Demi finally split up in 2011. Diddy clarified though that the two of them stayed close despite their disagreements, even though Ashton chose to give up on parties. Though we did see that he attended one white party with Demi, but that seems to be it. Now, Ashton pretty much confirmed this in a joint interview he did with Diddy on The Late Late Show with James Corden. Ashton said, if you're a single man, there's probably no greater human being in the world to hang out with. This is 20 years ago, 19 years ago, we were having a lot of fun together. Now, after Ashton and Demi got divorced, it appears that Ashton didn't go back to the Diddy lifestyle. I mean, Diddy's 50th birthday that took place in 2019 was the biggest star-studded event, but Ashton and his then-wife Mila Kunis were not in attendance. So maybe it's safe to say that the two really did drift apart and were not in contact. One thing is clear though is that they used to be really close, and at that time, who knows what those two were doing, and that has raised some suspicion. Last week, Ashton was finally spotted in public since all of the Diddy stuff and his connection to the case has come out. He was seen cruising the streets of Los Angeles, he was driving solo and seemed to be pretty somber. Now Ashton nor his wife Mila have come out and made a direct statement about Diddy and his crimes. But it is said that Ashton himself is worried about what could happen with this whole Diddy Diddy situation. An insider source revealed to Daily Mail that Ashton absolutely regrets his friendship with Diddy, considering what has happened. He feels lied to, betrayed, taken for granted, and manipulated. They continued by saying everyone who is close to Diddy fears the possibility of Diddy making up false allegations to clear his own name. Although Ashton is frightened by the prospect of being involved in the case, he's also prepared to completely cooperate with the authorities because he has nothing to hide, they said. But I don't know, he seems so worried about everything, and I'm not sure an innocent person would act that way. Personally, I just want to know what he's hiding. Now, what's really going on with Diddy? Well, in November last year, he was handed a lawsuit by his ex-girlfriend Cassie Ventura for mistreating her. They settled out of court the next day, and Diddy proclaimed his innocence. Almost a year later though, video footage of an incident Cassie was talking about at a hotel, and Diddy denied, was leaked. Now it made Diddy look really bad, and people became disgusted with him. Cassie then gained more support over this, and people started to believe her as a victim. The footage was sent to CNN, but no one knows where it came from, as Diddy allegedly bribed the hotel to delete the footage. Now, Diddy was in jail for other reasons when the video was released, and his lawyers put out a statement about it. They said the videotape was leaked to CNN for one reason alone: to mortally wound the reputation and the prospect of Sean Combs successfully defending himself against these allegations, the lawyers Mark Anifilo and Tenny Garagos wrote. In an email that was sent to the defense that was submitted to the court, one of the prosecutors, Emily A. Johnson, denied that the government was behind the leak, writing that the government possessed no surveillance video at all from the Intercontinental prior to CNN's public broadcast. She wrote that any accusations of the government leak lacked a good faith basis. And yeah, I gotta say, this accusation seems far-fetched. Now, the next big thing that happened to Diddy was that his two homes were raided by the FBI in March. They were obviously building a case against the star for whatever charges they had, but Diddy denied any wrongdoing. Diddy was then handed another lawsuit by producer Rodney Jones, where Rodney accused Diddy of mistreating him and making him a witness to various crimes. Now, more lawsuits continued, and on September 26, 2024, Diddy was arrested. A 14-page indictment against him included dozens of disturbing allegations about Diddy, including claims that he orchestrated and filmed freak-off parties. Diddy has pleaded not guilty to the charges against him, and he put together multiple bail packages, but the judge denied all of them, so he'll be staying in jail for the time being. Now, Diddy intends to testify during his trial, which has been set for May 5th, 2025. But that's not all though, as at the beginning of October at a news conference, Texas-based attorney Tony Busby said that he is representing 120 accusers with allegations against the entertainment mogul that date back more than 20 years. The lawyer said more than 3,000 individuals have come forward to his office with accusations against Diddy, and that he plans to begin filing lawsuits in various states within the next 30 days. Now, these victims span across 25 different states and are all different ages. Diddy has been arrested for running a crime ring, and it's been said that a lot of celebrities were involved in it. Rumor has it that Beyonce and Jay-Z were a part of it, and that's why they're so powerful in the music industry. So if you didn't know, in September, Diddy was arrested on multiple charges. He's already received many lawsuits for the crimes he committed, and a lot involve victims being mistreated at his infamous parties. In Hollywood, Diddy was known as the party man, as he was known for throwing the most lavish and most sought-after get-togethers. A lot of A-listers were present, and ones that particularly stand out are Beyonce and Jay-Z. You see, Jay-Z is very close friends with Diddy. The pair became friends in the 1990s and even collaborated on songs together. They did concerts and fundraisers together, and after Jay-Z got together with Beyonce, she then became friends with Diddy. At one point, the three of them were arguably the most powerful people in the music industry. That's why what's been going on right now with Diddy has been raising some eyebrows, because if he's involved, then they have to be involved too. Right? Now, recently, fans have made some theories about the couple and their relation to Diddy. For example, musical artist Jaguar Wright has spoken out calling both Diddy and Jay-Z monsters. She did an interview with Piers Morgan and made her feelings clear about the two stars. She asked Jay-Z to speak out about the arrests, but she also added that there were thousands of victims in total when Piers asked how many there could be. Wright then mentioned Beyonce, saying she was supposedly involved in their unfair incidents incidents that transpired over time. She went on to say that she had spoken with hundreds of victims whom she continues to assist. She has 3 victims who are willing to testify about what Jay-Z did to them as well as what he did to his wife. So this is obviously shocking, and I wonder if these people will actually come forward and tell their story. While there's no proof that Beyonce and Jay-Z did anything illegal at these parties, we do have proof that they attended them. They made an appearance at Diddy's 50th birthday party in 2019. They were photographed alongside other stars like the Kardashians, Leonardo DiCaprio, Paris Hilton, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Hart, Nelly, and Mary J. Blige. Now these celebs have also been spotted at other Diddy parties, including his white parties, where everyone would show up wearing white. Now Diddy's birthday party invite included 3 ground rules: dance or don't come, black tie means black tie, and project good vibrations, and that's what all the celebs there allegedly did. Speaking about the party, an insider said, "The night was about letting Diddy know he is loved. He had an amazing night and partied until morning. He seemed so happy to have everyone from all different walks of life there alongside him to celebrate this new decade." Now, at a party like this, and it also being 2019 with cell phones and social media, it's speculated that there most likely wasn't that many crimes going on that night, not like how the parties were in the 90s and early 2000s. But with Jay-Z and Beyonce being close friends with him, there's no way that they didn't know what was going on. Beyonce and Jay-Z also attended one of Diddy's New Year's Eve parties. The couple spent time with Diddy ringing in the new year of 2014 in Miami. Now the weird thing is, there are articles about them being there, but all the photos have disappeared. Strange, right? Well, in an article, it said that Jay-Z and Beyonce were off in the corner dancing and greeting people, and an insider said Drake came with a posse of friends and took over the turntables, and T.I. and Jamie Foxx were chatting and hanging out during the event. Pharrell Williams was also in attendance, the source adds. Many people have spoken out about what happens at a Diddy party, with people being half-dressed, not remembering what happened the night before, and being mistreated by Diddy himself or other guests. It's been said that on the outside, Diddy parties are normal, but when you go to the inside of his house, that's where things turn dark. It's been alleged that there's different tiers at Diddy parties, the general admission, and then the more exclusive gatherings where the crimes took place. Apparently after 3 a.m. the vibes change and a lot of people leave, resulting in a select group of people knowing what goes on behind closed doors. Honestly, it just seems so terrifying. Now back to Beyonce and Jay-Z. It's been said that there's an audio that's been leaked about Beyonce talking about Diddy and everything that he's done. Now there's a very good chance that it's just AI, but some people are believing it. It says, "My involvement in those parties was primarily for entertainment purposes. I had no idea about any of that terrible stuff going on. It is crucial to separate my presence at a party from any illegal activities that might have been occurring. You know, I stand against exploitation and violence, so let's make that clear, okay?" Now, no one from Beyonce's team has confirmed or denied this clip being real, but some people out there are believing it. Regardless if the audio is real or not, a lot of fans are calling out Beyonce and want her to speak out about the situation and denounce Diddy and claim her innocence. But the fact that she hasn't done this yet has people concerned. That's not all though, as there are some theories going around claiming that Diddy helped Beyonce and Jay-Z get rid of their competition in the music industry. For years, Diddy has been accused of causing the deaths of Tupac Shakur, the Notorious B.I.G., Michael Jackson, and others. But now, people think that Bey and Jay were in on it too. Rising star Aaliyah passed away on August 25th, 2001, after her private jet crashed in the Bahamas just minutes after takeoff. Aaliyah was only 22 years old when she passed away and was considered a promising star that would definitely overshadow Beyonce, so some claim that Beyonce got Diddy to help get rid of her. And at the time of her passing, people were suspicious as no one on board her plane managed to survive, so putting the blame on Diddy and Beyonce makes sense to them. Lisa Lopes, also known as Left Eye, was another American artist who passed away suddenly on April 25th, 2002 after a car accident. People again are saying that Beyonce and Diddy had something to do with this too. They think Beyonce sold her soul and Diddy is her protector. Now, this isn't the first time Beyonce has been accused of selling her soul or being a part of the Illuminati, but many think she went to her good old friend Diddy to help her dreams come true. But everything comes at a price, so if she did do this, I'm sure it will be exposed. Fans have also brought up the fact that when a lot of people in Hollywood win major awards against Beyonce, they always have to thank her or mention her in some way, and if they don't, they have an untimely passing or an accident. Is it crazy to think that Beyonce had Diddy do all of this? Yes, it's insane, but some people are starting to believe it and are turning on Beyonce. Now, the internet is always full of strange rumors, but this one is picking up. I mean, literally everyone is talking about it, and it's even somewhat become a meme. Is it a weird coincidence, or is there something more sinister going on here? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Although there has been no formal public statement by either Beyonce or Jay-Z regarding their relationship with Diddy amidst these allegations, insiders suggest that tensions have risen behind the scenes. According to reports, the couple are taking a cautious approach regarding their public association with Diddy. A source close to the couple spoke to In Touch Weekly and said that the couple will remain quiet. They've remained conspicuously silent following the news of Diddy's indictment. There's already talk about what they knew, and if it got out, could prove embarrassing. The source then added, few, if anyone, have rushed to Diddy's defense. The last thing Bey and Jay want is to implicate themselves, so they're going to keep quiet. Now, as per reports, the couple have been using their lawyer, Alex Spiro, to keep the rumors at bay. I mean, Alex recently threatened to sue Piers Morgan for his interview with Jaguar Wright, where it was claimed that Jay-Z and Beyonce have more victims than Diddy.
Ellen DeGeneres frequently interviewed Puff Daddy on her daytime talk show, and in 2018, she revealed that they had occasionally partied together. So during one interview, after he arrived late to a taping, Ellen jokingly asked if he planned to be late to an upcoming party she was hosting. He said, "Yeah, I am. No, I have to arrive fashionably late." Granted, Ellen did beg him not to arrive too late, adding, "Cause once you get there, the party really starts." And Puffy told Ellen, "I got you. I promise you. I'm not gonna let you down on this big one. For real." Now, in another interview on The Ellen Show, because he appeared a couple of times, he was asked by the comedian, "What time do you stay up till?" Now, he answered the question with no hesitation, saying that he would stay up until 6 a.m. and then wake up around 11 a.m. Now, Ellen had further questions. She's like, "What are you doing that has you staying up that late?" She couldn't imagine him staying up until 6 a.m. just to party, and he responded, "I mean, I make love a lot. I told you when I came on the show I was going to be completely honest and expose myself to the world." Now, Ellen jokingly called it her favorite answer ever, but there's just so much there that I want to unpack. Sir, were you actually being completely honest? And I have questions. So over the years, Puffy went by many a moniker, but Ellen's bizarre nickname for him left a lot of folks questioning her relationship, for lack of a better word, with the rapper. What was their friendship? So the controversial comedian once referred to him with a strange moniker on his birthday, and I think this was back in 2016. It was like a little Twitter post. It was really cute. So in the shout out, she referred to him by all the conventional names people know him by, before adding her own special nickname. She said, and I quote, "Happy birthday, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, Sean, or as I call him, Cuddle McSnuggle Stuff." Now, I have questions. And her next remark was, "You don't need to know why." And it made it all the more unsettling. Sure, at the time it seemed like an inside joke between the two, but with the context that we know now, I have a lot of opinions. So a lot of folks on social media have expressed their concern over this crazy dynamic duo in the light of the recent arrests and everything else and the things I can't talk about. One individual alleged that the comedian was one of the many A-listers who attended these freak-offs, saying Ellen DeGeneres knows all too well about certain parties. Somebody else said, "McSnuggle Stuff? Those parties must have been insane to get a name like that." And folks, if you've seen those photos of everybody on the beds in the white, you'll know. A third user commented, Ellen, now the layers start peeling back, don't they? Back in 2016, when you called him Cuddle McSnuggle Stuff, it seemed like just another one of your quirky offhand names, didn't it? But here in 2024, with everything that's come to light, it raises eyebrows." And somebody else said, and I share this opinion, "What a strange thing to say." Once again, folks, I'm going to remind you of those photos of the white parties in the beds. Look, I know Ellen and Puffy had a publicly friendly friendship for many years. He made many appearances on The Ellen Show. But following that arrest on charges of heinous crimes that I can't talk about, the nature of their association is under fresh scrutiny. And there's some theories floating around online that I'd like to bring up. The sudden passing of Twitch, Ellen's former DJ, and actress Anne Heche, Ellen's ex-girlfriend, have fueled a lot of online speculation. Both situations were officially ruled incidents. But there are folks online, not me, but there's folks online that believe there's more to the story. There are rumors surrounding all four of these folks, and it points to a larger issue that could be within Hollywood, the potential for powerful figures to silence those who might expose wrongdoing. Now, Ellen herself faced accusations of fostering a toxic work environment on her show, and then Puffy, let's just say the rumors swirling around him weren't exactly brand new this year. And the public is demanding answers about the lives lost and the nature of the connection between Ellen and Puffy. These events bring to light the potential dangers of a culture of secrecy and the difficulty of holding powerful figures accountable. And while no evidence supports these crazy theories, the ongoing speculation serves as a stark reminder of the enduring fascination with celebrity lives and the constant search for hidden truths within Hollywood. So apart from Ellen, many other A-listers have seen their relationship with Puffy being placed in the spotlight. I gotta say, the rapper is currently in detention at a facility in New York, waiting for his trial that's not till May. So going back to the A-listers, a lot of folks were at these Puffy parties, these white parties. Now we don't know, without a doubt, who was at the freak-offs because a lot of people had to sign NDAs, but we need to talk about these parties. There's an old video of people raving about them that has hit the internet. It had Nicole Richie, it had Fat Joe, Derek Jeter, all these regular guests at the exclusive soirees. There's an invite video also swirling around online, that's something. In one clip there's a young Derek talking about Puffy hosting a party on a jet that flew around the world for days. The former professional baseball player said, "It started on a Tuesday, somehow ended on the previous Sunday, I don't know how we did it." Elsewhere in the video, Fat Joe spun a wild narrative about the party seemed to blend into one another with no clear beginning or end. He shared, "It's hard to say which is more off the hook. A party, an after party, or an after party, which is basically a pre-party for the next party." And then Nicole Richie joked in the video about the party, saying, "Now that I'm engaged, I've decided to slow down a little. 3 parties a week, maybe 4. Girl." There was a resurfaced video of Khloe Kardashian on Keeping Up with the Kardashians saying that she did attend one of the parties. She also had Puffy on her Cocktails with Khloe show. She complimented him, she praised him, she's posted how many Insta photos with him. There's another resurfaced video featuring Ashton Kutcher admitting to have attended these soirees. He called them weird. Now, this friendship is a weird one and an old one. These guys were so close in the mid-2000s that they were saying they were the new Rat Pack. It was them and Jamie Foxx. In a 2019 Hot Ones interview, Ashton said, "Yeah, I've got a lot I can't tell," when asked about the friendship. Now, he could be forced to speak up soon, because apparently he's expecting a subpoena about all the wrongdoing. And yes, Puffy has argued his innocence by pleading not guilty, but rumors have it that Ashton is worried about potential betrayal. Once again, folks, these two guys have been constantly praising each other over the last 20 years. There's a lot of photos of them partying together. There's some stories there, and people want to know. Superstar basketballer LeBron James also once raved about these parties. There was a live stream once where he said, "Ain't no party like a party." And sure, while all these revelations have only raised eyebrows about how much these A-listers knew about the crimes, we do have to say none of them were named in the indictment. Other stars have been very quick to point out that they have no affiliation with Puffy, or they've cut ties with the rapper, as headline after headline after headline after headline hits the news. I feel like we get new news every day. Singer Pink recently debunked some claims that she deleted her Twitter due to the controversies around this. She was like, "I don't know why it became a headline, but I wiped my Twitter account back in February. There's no truth to these rumors, and while I've met in passing, I'm not associated with anybody named." There was a source close to Oscar Award winner Leonardo DiCaprio that also slammed rumors linking him to Puffy, saying that at the time, back in the early 2000s, he went to a couple of parties, but none of them were freak-offs, saying, and I quote, "Leonardo DiCaprio has absolutely nothing to do with any of this. Everybody went to those parties. They weren't freak-offs, they were big house parties. Leo was at the start of his career. The parties were a way to make connections." Okay, Paris Hilton is another powerful person who seemed to give Puffy her stamp of approval by attending his lavish parties over the years. She's been captured at many soirees with him. There's one photo where they're super friendly. They're in their white outfits, so obviously it was a white party. You could see Paris wearing her really cute name necklace. And as a survivor of wrongful harm and an advocate for people It's weird that she's been very silent about the accusations against Puffy, even though she's posted in the past about having an epic time hanging out at his house. Puffy's recent arrest on racketeering charges and more things I can't say has sent shockwaves throughout Hollywood, turning the spotlight on his infamous past parties. And as the scandal unfolds, a lot of celebrities once linked to his star-studded events have noticeably remained silent. So in the midst of the controversy, a resurfaced photo from the 4th of July party in the year 2000 has reignited buzz on social media. So in the image we see Puffy in bed alongside Jennifer Lopez, Aaliyah, Andre Harrell, Natane Adcock, and Damon Dash. Most folks are dressed in white, minus Puffy, J-Lo, and Natane, adding to the intrigue of the moment. And then there's another photo. We see only J-Lo and Puffy cuddled up on what appears to be, once again, this oversized bed covered in white pillows. And after seeing the group photo, folks online are calling the industry cruel, wild, awful. Somebody said, poor Aaliyah dealing with Puffy and some other artists who we can't talk about. Well, another wrote, like, Aaliyah specifically was so vulnerable and unprotected, like, OMG, that poor girl was in all the wrong spaces, that industry was so cruel the way they treated her. So look, if you look at the photo without the context, it could capture maybe an intimate, a joyful moment, a playful moment. Or maybe that's just what they want this photo to convey. The cheerful scene now stands in stark contrast to the grave allegations that Puffy currently faces, casting a shadow over those once glamorous memories. Fans on social media have reignited a lot of discussions around the resurfaced photos, with many expressing surprise and reevaluating Jennifer Lopez's silence amid the allegations. They also wonder whether or not the Jenny from the Block singer was left traumatized during her time with the rapper. Somebody said, that divorce with Ben Affleck makes more sense now. The Let's Get Loud singer at the time dated Puffy for like 2 years before calling it quits in 2001. Puffy and J-Lo had a roller coaster of a relationship, and fans want to know, like, just how traumatizing was it for J-Lo? And also, what else is there to say about it? This relationship was one for the history books at the turn of the century. It was turbulent, but hey, according to the duo, they wouldn't change a thing about how it all went about. Or at least that's what they're saying. So when J-Lo previously opened up about the dating history, she explained that the duo met just as she was entering stardom. She was preparing for the release of her debut album, which Puffy helped to produce. Talking to CBS in 2019, she said that he became kind of a mentor to her in that moment. They had this kind of crazy, tumultuous relationship that ended in a bang. And despite the hardships in their relationship, J-Lo recalled the lessons that Puffy taught her while they were together. He gave her so many cues, taught her so many things. She mentioned this in an interview with Access Hollywood in 2014. She'll always be grateful to him for that. She loves that he could be so supportive of her so many years later. There was still so much mutual respect, admiration, and love there. Now, if we're looking at how iconic this relationship was, Puffy was J-Lo's date to the Grammy Awards in the year 2000, where she wore that iconic green Versace dress, the one that we all reference, the reason that we have Google Images. So when you look back at that moment, Puffy told Entertainment Tonight back in 2017 like it was just a wow moment. They were really stepping up their game as far as what they were wearing, how they were going to use fashion. He thought it was really going to change the game as far as for her and for fashion. He didn't know how big it was going to be, but it was a great moment for her, and he said she deserved it. So on the other hand, J-Lo described this relationship and this point of time as being crazy. She was totally crying, she was going nuts, her whole life was in a tailspin. She said that she knew he was cheating on another woman even though she never technically caught him. Like, she just knew. He'd say he was going to a club for a couple of hours, he'd never come back that night. You trust your instincts. In 2003, J-Lo opened up about her relationship to Vibe magazine, and she explained that it was the first time she was in a relationship with someone who wasn't faithful. News outlets have reported that J-Lo did not deny knocking on hotel doors trying to find Puffy. She's like, I can't remember right now, but I won't say it didn't happen. She mentioned that she left him because, like, she had to think. Does she want to be home in 10 years wondering where somebody is at 3 in the morning? I don't. I need my sleep. The Let's Get Loud hitmaker and the I'll Be Missing You rapper broke up in February of 2001. That's when the rumors of his infidelity began to circulate in the mainstream. Now at the time, Puffy's publicist said that, he confirmed that he and his love, J-Lo, have in fact broken up. He wanted to put all the rumors surrounding the relationship to rest. At that difficult time, they asked for privacy. So then after this, J-Lo explained that she met Chris Judd, a backup dancer. She would have a short marriage with him. And she mentioned, like, coming out of this crazy relationship, she meets this sweet person who's so refreshing. But marriage is not just about love. She thought she had learned that in her first marriage. She loved Chris, she still loves him, he's one of the best people. It wasn't an easy thing to walk away from, but she admitted that they didn't have what it took to make a marriage work. Chris knew that the last thing she ever wanted in this bleeping world was to hurt him. If we're gonna take to social media commentary, somebody's like, hey, has anybody ever considered the fact that J-Lo might be traumatized from Puffy, which is why she can't stay married? Well, look at this. JLo revealed in a 2001 interview with Rolling Stone that Puffy would often threaten to divorce her, despite the fact that the two actually never got married. She said, like, a lot. He told me many times, I want a divorce. She explained that this threat would come up often, usually when they were struggling to find time to see each other because hectic schedules, and Puffy, frustrated by their lack of time together, would just say, I'll be away so much, or I can't get away, but where do I send the papers? So after this, JLo admitted, like, it was exhausting. She mentioned, like, it was a great time in her life, but it was also scary. They broke up many times before it hit the mainstream news. They got back together, they broke up again, nobody knew about it, it was emotionally exhausting, and she tried to joke. She was like, oh, it was good that I did it when I was young. So Jennifer's first husband, Ojani Noah, previously spoke about how he would get jealous because JLo was still spending so much time with Puffy while the two were married. He said, I rang Jen, asked why she was going out with him on dates. She said it was just business, this is what I'm being told I have to do. Her husband was jealous. He was like, he would scream, but you're married. So the pop diva tied the knot with Ojani in 1997. She was married to him for less than a year. One of her friends, one of JLo's friends, photographer, journalist, socialite Salma Francesca, believes like JLo never got over the romance with Puffy. And look, given all of what we've talked about today, there's a lot of folks online that are questioning why JLo hasn't talked out about current events, and it's fueled a lot of speculation and debate. She hasn't really addressed her ex's allegations. Yes, she is busy with her divorce from Ben Affleck. But despite her silence, fans have dredged up a Wendy Williams show interview, which spoke volumes, where JLo's mom, Guadalupe or Lupe Rodriguez, really blatantly opposed her daughter getting back together with Puffy, or even the idea of it. So when the duo were dating, there was like this whole thing, there was a Manhattan nightclub event, somebody else kind of got sentenced to something, and it was totally crazy. And yeah, Mama Bear had something to say about it. So besides JLo, photos of a lot of Hollywood stars, including Leonardo DiCaprio, have also appeared online at these crazy parties. There was a video where Puffy called the Oscar winner his favorite guest. Sarah Jessica Parker's been pictured at Puffy's events over the years. Marlon Wayans, a frequent guest at these parties, has publicly said, like, I never witnessed anything illegal, I left early. And, you know, everybody's saying things, but I think it's the silence that's really speaking volumes right now. Khloe Kardashian has famously described one bash. She mentioned that folks were in the nude. She talked about things in detail that I can't talk about online. Now, last week, a second judge did refuse to grant bail to Puffy. U.S. District Judge Andrew L. Carter said the government had proved that, there was no freaking way that he could leave and it would be safe for the community, and that he won't, tamper with witnesses.
The Kardashians are linked more to Diddy than you think, as Kim Kardashian has been spotted at some of Diddy's infamous white parties. Everyone knows that the Kardashians are one of the most powerful families out there, but it seems like Kris Jenner wasn't able to wipe this photo of her daughter, Kim, at one of Diddy's white parties off the internet fast enough. Now, photos have surfaced of Kim at one of Diddy's white parties in 2006. Now, this was before her tape with her ex Ray J was leaked, and it was a year before her family started filming Keeping Up with the Kardashians. So, how was she able to get into this exclusive party? That has to do with Paris Hilton. In 2006, Kim began working as a stylist for Paris Hilton as they were childhood friends. Now, at the time, Kim had a closet organizing business, and Paris was one of her clients. Now, Kim appeared in several episodes of the reality series The Simple Life, and was frequently photographed with Paris going to events and parties, aka the Diddy Party. And since Paris was a young socialite, she was able to attend the most lavish and exclusive parties, and this included Diddy's. So with her being as close as she was with Kim, she got to tag along too. I mean, in 2008, Paris even spoke out about attending Diddy's first ever party in 1998, saying it was iconic and everyone was there. So it appears that Paris may have been the one who introduced Diddy to Kim. And how convenient is it that a year after she met Diddy, she rose to fame after her tape was leaked with Ray J, who was friends with Diddy. Yes, Kim's ex was very good friends with Diddy. Now, Ray J has actually spoken out about Diddy in the past couple of months and said that a lot of people in the industry had been unaware of anything relating to the serious allegations made against Diddy. Ray J explained, we've never seen the stuff that's being said and the stuff people are finding out. Like, I've never been in the rooms that people are talking about, and I never knew they existed. And a lot of people in the industry can agree with me on that sense. Like, you all wanted to go and have a good time at a Diddy party. He then proceeded to say that guests wanted to have a good time, be inspired, and work hard the following day because of the good vibes they'd enjoyed. According to Ray J, people are still trying to digest and understand everything, and while the allegations weren't factual yet, they have still proven to be hurtful and confusing for some. Now, shortly before Diddy's mansions were raided earlier this year, Kim actually unfollowed Diddy on social media, as did a number of other stars. Now, did Kim know what was coming? I mean, Kim and her sisters were in the same social circles as Diddy, and the siblings have often spoken of the fun times they had with Diddy, so was Kim aware? Well, it appears that she and her team are trying to quiet any speculation. A user recently posted a video on X, aka Twitter, claiming that Kim was involved in Diddy's infamous tapes and was under an FBI investigation. A user of the social networking site X shared a post with images of a cease and desist order from Kim's lawyer, Christina Davis. The user received the order in an email after they posted claiming Kim was under FBI investigation for being involved in Diddy's infamous videos. Now, the user accused the billionaire of blackmail and taking advantage of men and being possibly embroiled with the notorious tapes. Now, the post read, "Kim Kardashian's lawyer hit me with a cease and desist after I posted a video where someone suggested she might be under FBI investigation for blackmail, mistreating men, and possibly being involved with the infamous Diddy tapes." However, the user stated that such orders are nothing and will continue to speak out on the matter. The caption added, "Their threats and intimidation are pointless. Nothing can stop what's about to unfold. Let me be clear, if I suddenly go silent, that's not my decision." The caption concluded with, "I've now become a target of Balenciaga's most powerful partner." Now, the alleged order from Kim's lawyer stated, "I'm an attorney for Kim Kardashian and right to demand that you immediately cease and desist from publishing false and defamatory statements on the X account at Shadow of Ezra about my client." It further referred to the post shared by the user earlier, due to which the order was being sent to then. It further read, "Your statements claiming Miss Kardashian has committed crimes or is involved or being investigated for crimes are categorically false and illegal." It also demanded the removal of said video, accusing Kim to be removed immediately, else Miss Kardashian will pursue legal action for your defamatory statements. Now, some Twitter users are questioning whether the letter is real or not, but all I know is that Kim, and more importantly her mother, wouldn't want her connected in any way with Diddy. I mean, the Kardashians are always wrapped up in their own scandals, and if Kim were connected to him like the Twitter user claims, she could kiss being a lawyer goodbye, as it is just not a good look. While Kim is being tied to Diddy, her ex-husband Kanye West has been praised by people online, as an interview from 2022, the rapper warning people about Diddy. In an interview for Drink Champs, Kanye called out celebrities for allegedly working with law enforcement to turn on other celebrities so they could avoid prison. Now, one of the celebs he called out by name was Diddy. Kanye said that Diddy is making deals to keep himself out of trouble. "The reason why you gotta talk is because you did a deal you effing fed. That's why you've got to come at me, because part of the deal for you to be able to do all that and get out of jail is that you promise that you're gonna pull my card," he said. Now, a lot of people didn't take this too seriously at the time, as 2022 Kanye was not, well, to say the least. But Diddy eventually was arrested though, so if he was working with law enforcement like Kanye claimed, whatever deal he had was broken. Now, this isn't all though, as that same year, Kanye posted texts between the two of them. One included Kanye saying, "F you, you fed." It seems like Kanye was suspicious of Diddy the whole time, and hey, maybe we should have listened to him. Then there's Kris Jenner. Now, old selfies of Kris and Diddy are resurfacing. Diddy had a close bond with Kris, and once admitted while appearing on her talk show in 2013 that he had a long-time crush on the matriarch. He joked to Kris, "Once you go black, you never go back." As Kris laughed, "Is he flirting with me again?" Then they worked together again in 2013 when she helped him launch his own platform, Revolt TV, and they were spotted hanging out at the Hollywood Walk of Fame ceremony honoring producer and singer Kenneth Babyface Edmonds. Now, it's also been found that Corey Gamble, Kris's longtime boyfriend, has something to do with all this Diddy stuff. An insider said that Corey was aware of Diddy's controversial engagements. A lot of people believe that Corey must have had some knowledge of what was going on, claimed a source. But the insider also noted that Corey totally denies these allegations, which, I mean, of course he would. Now, fans of the Kardashians have always found Corey to be somewhat creepy, and if it turns out that he is connected to all the Diddy stuff, well then that would be bad. In a series of now deleted 2022 social messages, Kanye West also dissed Corey for his connection to Diddy and Justin Bieber. "I think he's a nice person, not a great person, a nice person who used to be around Puffy's family, then got around Justin Bieber." Now all of this coming out is not a good look for the Kardashian family. However, it's been said that Kris has already started to plan her family's rescue in case things get dirty for her daughters. It's all very ugly and very embarrassing, and Kris is scrambling to distance them from all this and distract everyone, but that's going to be impossible if they get called in to testify, a source said. Another source said, "All these years that they bragged about partying with Diddy have of course got everyone assuming that they were somehow involved in these depraved freak-offs," the source stated. They then asserted that the family had no idea of the sorts of twisted things he was up to after hours. Now chatting to In Touch magazine, the insider divulged, Diddy had plenty of glamorous parties over the years that weren't freak-offs, at least not until the early morning hours when the majority of people had left. Now they suggested that Kris is presently scrambling to distance them from all of this.
Puffy is currently facing some serious allegations that have tarnished the reputation that he built in the music industry. He once had this close-knit circle of celebrity friends, and now they're kind of distancing themselves in the wake of these serious allegations. Now, has anybody else seen the leaked VHS tape? It was probably, I believe, an invitation to Puffy's 29th birthday party back in 1998, when I was like, And it's raised some eyebrows. Known for his love of partying, Puff Daddy has never shied away from going out and about while hosting such events, although some, if not all, of his current legal troubles kind of stem from those gatherings. But the VHS tape, it's a 6-minute long video that serves as a time capsule from the peak of the bad boy era, and as kind of a reminder of how far Puff Daddy has slipped from society amid everything going on. And yes, Oprah's in it. That's why we're talking about it today. So this tape was delivered to the hands of the most powerful and glamorous players in Los Angeles and New York in a black velvet pouch with the birthday gala, November 4th, 1998, written on it in white script. And like I said before, it's got Oprah, it's got Ellen DeGeneres, it's got Chris Rock, it's got Mariah Carey, it's got the next president, it's got Magic Johnson, Will Smith, Ben Stiller, Joan Rivers, Steven Tyler, Joe Perry, Tommy Hilfiger, Ronald Perlman, Penny Marshall, Stephen Baldwin, and so many others, taking turns to hype up the bash, encouraging the recipients to RSVP and goof off for the camera. So it begins with a strange home video style skit where Danny DeVito is lying on a sofa under a blanket, saying, "That's right, Puff Daddy's having a party and this is Puff Daddy inviting you to come. Let's have a ball." Danny DeVito, are you okay? Let me know. Then the absolute cavalcade of A-listers take turns reading from a script. And yeah, it's a script, detailing the date and time, exactly how fabulous and expensive the affair is going to be, and then the address to RSVP to. And the venue, which by the way, it was the Cipriani Wall Street, would be revealed later. But now that it's been 20-something years, we know where it was. One person refers to the I'll Be Missing You rapper as the legendary Puff Daddy, and then we've got Rock and DeGeneres teasing him for his many names, because, you know, he's got them as long as my arm, and a lot of folks make fun of their own unease with hip-hop slang. One source who attended the bash said that they'd forgotten how much was made of the party in the press, and they really think that bigger celebs and moguls were fascinated by the chutzpah of this 29-year-old. Look, at the time the bash cost like $600,000, and 1,600 people were on the list for the invites, which is bonkers for a party? Eee! As well as those in the video, Henry Winkler, Aaron Lauder, Mike Tyson, Minnie Driver, Mark Wahlberg, Lenny Kravitz, Kevin Costner, Sarah Ferguson, Martha Stewart, Jay-Z, and Naomi Campbell were also on the scene. Folks have compared this to Truman Capote's Black and White Ball at the Plaza, and even though that party was like for la crème de la crème of society, Puff Daddy was celebrating the kind of high-profile commercial success and notoriety that knows no racial class or bounds. So folks are comparing it like old money versus new money. The Capote Ball, old money. Puff Daddy Ball, new money. So during an intimate discussion with Oprah, peeling away the layers of his complex life, Puffy kind of made folks curious by avoiding details about the origin of the Puff Daddy moniker. The conversation, which was for Oprah's O magazine, it was casual at the beginning. Like Oprah was like, how'd you get the name? And he said, it's a nickname somebody gave me. And then Oprah, being Oprah, was like, okay, well, I would like to know more. And then he was like, no. He's like, I've never told anyone that. And I know you get people to tell you everything, Oprah, but I can't look you in the eye and explain that one. He said, no more Puff Daddy. First week in June, we're gonna have a name change ceremony. Now, he confessed that part to MTV back in 2001, and that's when he said, I'm rocking with the whole P, that name now. And that's when he said, Biggie gave him that name, which was after crimes committed by Puffy that I can't talk about on here without sounding like a cartoon character, but I'm sure you can find them, and I find it highly suspicious that Biggie gave him that name. If we're gonna go back to Oprah for a moment, her name? That's been interlaced with a lot of criminals. We're talking Harvey W., Puff Daddy, Jeffrey E. I can't say their last names. Harvey was a close friend of Oprah's for many years, and he used that friendship to gain the trust of his victims. Actress Katie Noble claimed that Harvey used Oprah into going back with him to his hotel room. However, once Harvey's crimes became public knowledge, Oprah distanced herself from the situation without directly addressing her relationship with him. Oprah said, "If we make this just about Harvey, then we'll have lost this moment." That statement was an attempt to shift the focus from Harvey's crimes and victim stories to a bigger picture, because Oprah was desperate to paint herself as a hero. But not everybody was convinced. Oprah's former friend Seal took to Instagram to call her out for suspicious behavior, saying, "You have been part of the problem for decades, but suddenly they all think you're the solution. I forgot, that's right. You'd heard the rumors, but you had no idea he was actually serial harming young starry-eyed actresses." And that post was accompanied with a photo of Oprah kissing Harvey on the cheek. Now, Harvey is one of only many awful men tied to Oprah's brand. She's attended those big parties, and oh right, I'm forgetting something. She's featured 5 times in the files from Jeffrey's trial. I can't talk more about the trial for reasons, but like, come on. Another issue that follows Oprah wherever she goes is the controversy of her school in South Africa, the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls. It was built as a safe haven for disadvantaged girls, but it has proven to be kind of anything but that. Multiple students accused a dormitory matron, Virginia Makopo, of harm, and she was arrested in November of 2007 and then released on bail. News outlets claim that she faced 14 charges involving indecent acts with students. So after that trial, Oprah was sued by the headmistress of the school, Lerato Nyomfo Mzame, for defamation, which is kind of bad for you to be sued by your own headmistress. Mzame alleged that Oprah defamed her by implying that the headmaster was covering up the awfulness going on at the school. Granted, that case was settled out of court before the arranged trial, at least according to news outlets. But, sorry folks, the controversy does not end there. Speculation about numerous missing girls from the academy has spread like wildfire across social media. But the validity of these statements has not been confirmed or denied. Oprah and her team have been silent on the matter, and it seems like any articles raising concern over the situation are scrubbed from the internet. Like, when was the last time you heard about Oprah's school after she had that big grand opening? A fair share of scandals have been attached to Oprah over the years, yet media coverage criticizing her for all these instances somehow always disappears. And Oprah's name is constantly tied to a bazillion crimes, whether it's due to her relationships or the instances with the school. But the only sources talking about this are concerned consumers on social media and small newspapers. Not a lot of major outlets have discussed Oprah's suspicious behavior. Instead, they continue to praise her. And yet, she doesn't deny anything. Selective media coverage plays a large role in maintaining her image. Power is used as a scare tactic to prevent reporters from bringing these topics to light. And look, Oprah's not innocent. Thanks to her weakness for theories that veer towards the decidedly out there, her legacy is tarnished, at least in my eyes. Okay, sure, we'll give her a point today. She did endorse a lot of credible things. Barack Obama, John Steinbeck's East of Eden, became a bestseller after she featured it. I think it was like 51 years after it was originally published. But then on the other hand, let's talk about some bad things, okay? So we have her to blame for Jenny McCarthy spewing her opinions. You know, the opinion that vaccinations cause autism. She said that on the Oprah Winfrey Show back in 2007 and has been repeatedly cited as a factor in the return of many diseases such as whooping cough, and in the US, mostly in the US. Let's talk about Dr. Oz, the Turkish-American heart surgeon who first appeared on Oprah back in 2004 and quickly became part of Oprah's team of experts. Well, he dispenses with facts he doesn't find convenient. He manifests an egregious lack of integrity. Why? Well, he promotes quack treatments and cures in the interest of personal financial gain. He's more like an influencer than an actual doctor these days. And that's coming from a lot of colleagues who are like, yeah, no, his endorsements are immoral.